So with this video, we're going to walk through some of the basic lot tracking functionality within Vicinity, starting with the data entry, where we go into a batch entry and we record the lots that have been consumed, and we also record the lots that have been produced. Then we're going to focus on some of the reporting functionality, specifically the lot trace inquiry window. Now, as far as recording our production, first thing we need to do is we need to call up the existing batch number from our batch entry window. Once that's called up on screen, we can now start to record, here's the quantities that we've consumed, here's the quantities that we've produced. Within our procedures tab, we can enter in line by line, here's the quantity. So in this particular example, my batch required 90 pounds of vegetable oil, but my production team came back and said, hey, we consumed 100 pounds. Since it's a lot tracked item, immediately I'm going to get on screen, here's the list of my available lot numbers to choose from. Now, where those lots come from, they come from the ERP system that you're tied to. You can filter those out based on the site ID. So if I want to pull in from a different inventory location, I can change the site ID at the procedure level. So in this particular case, I'm looking at site 01-N. So this is looking at all of my lots that are sitting at site 01-N. I have the ability to filter it even further. If I have bin tracking turned on, I can set my lot restriction to restrict to bin. So if, for example, I'm using a staging bin and I'm physically moving all of my bins or my quantity from the different racking system that I have to a specific staging area, and I've done that physically and I've done that within the system, I can certainly tell it restrict to that bin. If that bin is set at that line level, this would show me only those lots that are available at that location/bin. I can also filter it one further way as well. At the item level, there is a setting to require QC approval before use. If that is turned on at the item level, then what happens is in order for a lot to show up on this window, you have got to go into the quality control system and enter a pass or fail status for that particular lot. If that is set at passed, then it'll show up. That is an item by item setting that you can turn on, or you can just hit turn off if you wanted to. From the window, I can then start to enter in, here's the quantity that I've consumed of that particular lot. Now, it is not a one-for-one situation, so I can go in, and in this particular example, I've consumed 70 pounds of lot CD01, and I've also consumed 30 pounds of CD02, and hit OK on that. Once I were to post this transaction, this is going to send it to your ERP, and it's going to take that quantity out of the ERP. It's also important to note that if this is still sitting in issue now and I haven't posted, that quantity then becomes unavailable for use for that lot in other batches. Meaning if I go into another batch and I called up that same lot availability window, it's going to now reduce those two lots by the 70 and the 30. On the finished goods side, I have two ways of entering my lot number. I can have the system default the batch number as the lot number if I wanted to, or I can manually enter in my lot number. So in this case, I'm saying lot number ABC 123, and we've produced 70 eaches of it. If I were to hit post, that's going to send the 70 units over into my ERP with lot ABC 123. You can certainly enter in multiple lots and multiple items if you need to. So what's important to see from this window is that we can go in and we can enter in our lots, and we can see the lots that are available to us, and we can also see here's what we produced from those lots. Now what you're going to see is that as I produce this batch, the lots that were consumed are going to be in essence tied to the lot that was produced when we do a lot trace recall. We talked about the recording of lot consumption and lot production within a batch. Now let's take a look at some of our reporting functionality that we have for the lots. Specifically, if we go to the compliance lot trace inquiry window, from the lot trace inquiry window, we can select an item or component, and this will show up over on the left. This will show all of the lots that have either been consumed or produced in a Vicinity batch, along with the quantity sitting on hand in your ERP. Once I select the lot that I want to do the lot trace, I can now select the direction. Doing a downward trace, is going to take that item and it's going to show you here's all of the lots that went into the production of that item. If we do an upward trace, this is going to show us for that lot, here's all the batches and all the products that have consumed that lot. So if we look at this tree, we're going to see a few things. We see here's the lot number that it went into. Here's the component that it went into. Now, if I click on each line, at the bottom, I'm going to see a little bit of information. I'm going to see the batch number that consumed that lot, the date, and the facility. I'm going to also see here's the quantity of the end item that was produced, and here's the quantity that went in. So in this example, as I'm highlighted on this lot, for item DR1012, where we made 300 eaches, we consumed 2.07412 pounds of the lot that we're tracing for component FL RM1001, lot CD001. Now we also see these little gray triangles here, and what this is indicating is that that top level that it's clicked on, so for item DR6000, that item consumed 330 pounds of the lot we're tracing, but what it's then saying is that that DR6000 was then consumed in other batches. So in essence, if we look at these items here, so if I click on this one, I'm seeing that 41 pounds of the RM1001 has actually been consumed within that batch. Again, because the RM1001 went into DR6000, which was then consumed in another item. So what you're able to see here is that our lot trace is able to go from the start of where we received it all the way through the top level and multiple uses. Now, maybe seeing this tree is not what you want to see. Maybe you want a printed out version. You can just simply click on the printer, and this is going to render a report either in Crystal Reports or an SSRS report, giving you similar information. You know, again, we're seeing over on the left, seeing the various levels, seeing the component that consumed it, the lot number, the batch number. We also give you the ability to add other information to this report. So in this example, I've added in sales information. So I'm able to see that when this item was consumed, this lot number was consumed, here's the invoices that I sold that consuming lot, and here's the customer, here's the quantity, here's the date. I could add other information if need be. You know, common example is a phone number, customer PO. The idea being that if you were in the scenario of an actual recall, you can quickly print off a report and see which of your customers you need to call and inform them. At the same time, if we want to do that downward trace, so let's take one of our items, DR1012, refresh that. Again, we're going to see here's all of the lots that have either been consumed or produced in Vicinity. And if I do my downward trace, I'm going to see, you know, on that initial batch ticket where I made the DR1012 for that lot number, the 300016, here's all the components that went into that item, and it's telling me, you know, where that was sourced from, whether it's from a packaging, if that would say bill of materials, and item bill of material, or if it was from the procedure, there's the procedure telling you the quantity that was produced, the quantity that was consumed. And at the same time, you can also print off a report, get a very similar report to the one that we had just seen. So the idea here being that within a matter of seconds, you can simply do a lot trace recall if the need comes up for an actual recall or a mock recall. It's a relatively easy process to do.